you, Sasha, to the leadership. Of course, I very, very proud to have been involved with CAMP for a number of years on the religious advisory board and in other capacities. And I I always I'm a bit embarrassed to speak myself. I just love to hear Rabbi Lightstone keep speaking, because of the work he's doing every single day and the administration is doing every single day is literally changing the world. We're going to hand a better world to our children because of the courageous leadership of President Trump and because of a team that implements his policies and does it at the highest level. And there's another challenge that President Trump decided to take on that is it is something no one ever thought would change. Everyone admitted was broken. No one was willing to do anything about it until President Trump decided to do something about it, and that's what I'm focused on. And it was just, in fact, it's amazing that it was just about 6 weeks ago, but President Trump said something in the Oval Office. Very simple statement, almost missed entirely by the press, but it was to the press. He said one of the problems in Gaza is that Hamas is stealing the aid of the Gazan people, and we're going to do something about it. Well, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is the doing something about it, because what has happened for many, many years, preceding this war, actually, but certainly every moment of this war, is that the benevolence of the United States of America and Europe and Arab countries and other people all around the world, all these people have sent billions and billions of dollars to aid to the Gaza Strip to help people. And almost the moment the aid gets in the Gaza Strip, it's immediately stolen by Hamas. And then Hamas taxes it. They maximize their profit on the aid. They resell this aid that's coming free from the United Nations and the World Food Program and all these other organizations to the people of Gaza. And they have used this aid not only to prolong all kinds of conflicts, and not only within the Gaza Strip, but this tactic of aid diversion, while the UN and all these other organizations hide their eyes, has been used to prolong all kinds of conflicts, but it has prolonged this war. And so what President Trump did is he gave the mandate to find a way to get aid into the Gaza Strip that Hamas cannot steal, because the people of Gaza deserve to eat. And so that's what the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is doing. That's why it exists. And I have to tell you, I am surprised that something so right, something so simple as feeding people has become so controversial. We have poked a lot of bears, and we thought we were poking the bear of a designated terrorist organization that wants to steal the aid from people. But what we have discovered every second of every day is the underbelly of the United Nations and all of these organizations around the world. I was just reviewing a report that isn't public yet that I think is an absolute scandal of the amount of UN aid that has been diverted, not only in the Gaza Strip, but in circumstances all over the world. And as some of our lawyers in the room there know, the United Nations enjoys something called international organizational immunity. That means they can be a material sponsor of a terrorist organization by allowing an organization to use the benevolence of the United States, of the American people, of Europeans, to use that aid for militaristic purposes and get off scot-free from it. Though there's a bill in Congress, by the way, to change that. So what we've done very successfully, you wouldn't know it from reading the press and from listening to the leaders of the UN and other agencies, but we have delivered. I'm just going to pause here to make sure you get it. In 1 month, despite all of this opposition, we have delivered 50 million meals worth of food for free in the Gaza Strip. 50 million meals of food for free into the Gaza Strip. Not one truck diverted, not one circumstance of our aid being used to prolong a conflict. And while if you listen to the BBC or you listen to it, I'm sad to say, a lot of our major media outlets, which literally take these sham statistics that come from the Gaza Health Ministry, which are absolute lies that are part of the information war that Hamas is using to prolong this conflict. If you listen to all that stuff, you wouldn't understand it. But what we've done in a very, very short period of time is we have called the bluff on the whole international community. We have demonstrated that it was a false choice, that the majority of aid in order to feed people had to be stolen and used for for nefarious purposes. And and by the way, the best evidence of all of this is that every single day, okay, every single day, the people of Gaza come to. We're an independent organization. We have American heroes on the ground, veterans of the aid community, veterans of the United States military. They are on the ground, and every day they hear these young people of Gaza, older people of Gaza, thanking the United States of America and thanking President Trump specifically for the free aid that they're receiving. In fact, some of them actually they didn't believe the aid was free because they're so used to the aid being sold to them. It happens every single day. They thank us for freeing them of the repression that the existing system has caused them. And what have we gotten for it? What we've gotten is the entire, virtually all the media around the world, with the exception of some good actors, most of them sitting in that room, daily criticism trying to shut us down. We're actually told that the United Nations sent a directive to all of their agencies telling them to not work with us, despite the fact that most of the aid coming in the Gaza Strip now is coming from us. And to top it all off, Hamas itself actually attacked some of our volunteer Gazan aid workers, killed 12 of them, injured others of them, piled them in front of the Al Nasser hospital in Gaza, refusing to allow them any medical treatment at all to make an issue of them. And the United Nations, that receives billions of dollars from the United States government and the Europeans, didn't even have the audacity to issue a statement condemning Hamas's murder of these local Gazan aid workers. And 2 days ago, Hamas issued a threat not just to the local Gazan aid workers. Hamas put a bounty on the head of the American contractors on the ground that are serving these people. Everything Rabbi Lightstone just said is absolutely true. We are living in an existential moment, both of opportunity and also to decide what future that we're handing to the world. And the heroes working every single day in response to President Trump's mandate in the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, these are people, by the way, who've served our country in the most difficult circumstances. When I was telling you, I'll be quiet in a minute, Sacha, I promise. But I was telling a reporter earlier today that when the 12-day war broke out between Israel and Iran, the moment it became public that this was taking place, we surged additional aid into Gaza. So over 1 month, 50 million meals in the middle of 2 hot wars against a global disinformation campaign meant solely to shut us down, to keep other countries from supporting our efforts. And we persevere. And you know why we persevere? Because we're Americans, and that's what we do. And why I persevere? Because I'm a Christian, and I can't think of anything more Christian than helping do this, helping feed people. And also, there's this powerful verse I keep reminding myself that's in our New Testament, where it says, if you care about the opinions of people, you cannot serve God. We just have to do right. And what we're doing is right. And we appreciate any help that you can give us across the board. Be a spokesperson for us. Hold these international organizations to account. Encourage people to join our efforts. And by the way, when networks like Al Jazeera, for instance, we just saw this earlier today. So Hamas is still trying to intimidate Gazans from coming to get our food, and trying to smear us so the international community won't support us. And so they keep spreading not only these false casualty numbers, but today they issued a story where they said that our flour was infused with drugs. They interviewed a Hamas-controlled doctor in the Gaza Strip. Al Jazeera, an international media outlet, shared that interview with the world. And it's not only is it absurd, and not only is all of our flour, packaged commercially, actually everything in our aid boxes are of a higher quality and a higher caloric count than the United Nations standards. And yet this stuff goes all around the world. And so, but I can tell you what we're going to keep doing. We're just going to keep at it, because that's what Americans do.